Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again, it's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here. We're going to talk to Chad Boat, crew chief, builder extraordinaire.
Racer,
race car driver.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, yeah, he's a race car driver too. We're going to talk to him, the fascinating story of Christopher Bell putting the car, Chad doing it. I mean, it's just going to be interesting to talk with Chad, that's for sure. And Sam Hafertepe Jr. going to join us as well as that, one of multiple point battles that are just raging. And when I say raging, I mean raging.
Yes.
We've got some dandies across the country, so it is good. So, Erin, I do want to go back, though. We talked so much about the NASCAR involvement in sprint car racing and you know, with Tony and Casey and Kyle and Ricky and all of our guys like that. But add Christopher Bell to the list. I mean, he drove a little bit earlier this year for Kevin Swindell.
Yeah.
Won a couple of Dash for Cash races with NASCAR. I think it was Bristol and Talladega. And decided he loved driving for Kevin, but he would rather do his own deal, and he did it. And they actually built it right up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, right across the street from our shop. One day I was on the phone with Ray, and he was like, sprint car just went by out front. I'm like, what do you, I mean, Casey's shop is not far, so I thought, and he was like, it's a black number 21, and
but
sure
you're
enough.
You're in Mooresville, so I mean,
So I went online and sure enough saw the car that they had built, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful car.
Yeah, and Chad Boat did the building of it and everything. They did it right at their shops, and so we're going to talk to Chad, but Christopher, I mean, it's his 5th win with the World of Outlaws, but boy, a lot of pride when you do it with your own stuff.
For sure, and I think all along, Christopher said one of his goals is to own a World of Outlaw team. So, you know, had success in NASCAR, got himself in a good position, and obviously has a great team building the car.
Yeah,
and Chad and his family. I mean, they have a lot of open wheel experience.
Exactly, and Christopher moving up to the Cup Series next year, so the payroll, the paycheck should be a little bit better, and so we'll.
Helps the sprint car budget.
That's just the reality of this world, you know. I mean, an Xfinity Series driver, and I've talked to Chase Briscoe about this. And it sounds good. Well, you made it in NASCAR. When are you going to field a World of Outlaw team? It's like pump the brakes. Yeah. You know, there's life and family and everything else. We love this racing, but you don't just mortgage everything. You make it to the Xfinity Series to field a full-blown World of Outlaw sprint car team would be a pretty big number to crack out of that. Okay, but you build up to it. We saw Kyle Larson build up to it.
Same thing. You got to start somewhere.
Start somewhere, and Christopher Bell started this week.
Yeah, and I ran into his fiance at the airport on Thursday. She was headed off for her bachelorette with Megan Drought, and she said, "Yes, this is his new hobby." I'm like,
new hobby.
Sprint car racing is, that's his weekend hobby. And then she also mentioned something about she, gets to buy more shoes now that he's spending more on sprint cars. So
a little negotiation there amongst the folks. Yes, absolutely.
As everyone on our show or listening knows, that Morgan comes from a very serious sprint
with the
car
last
family.
name of Kemanaugh. With the last name of Kemanaugh, that's kind of a racing name.
I think she's
also
pretty excited about the new team as well.
I think that's great. Yeah, they're a really cool couple. Morgan does all of the apparel work and all of the souvenir and the website and all of that, which we see a lot in the sprint car world, and she really does such a good job with all of that and managing all of that. Christopher actually and Morgan, they run their own website. They do it. A lot of times there's other companies involved, but they are very hands-on with their lives and their business, and it's their passion. Is what it is.
Both of them.
Whether it's Christopher, whether it's running the Cup car, the Xfinity car, or the sprint car, they all love it. And so, so Christopher, very hands-on. I know our friends at Plan B Sales deal with Christopher. He's one of the guys that we come in, we sponsor the sprint car and everything. When you're dealing with Christopher, you're not dealing with an agent. You're not dealing with anybody. You're calling Christopher and saying, hey, can you come over and sign some die casts? Can you come over and do this and that? Yeah, sure, when it'll work out and everything. So he's a fun guy. And I love just seeing the smile on his face.
Me too. That was very genuine in Victory Lane.
Yeah, Christopher just is such a good kid. And I know the old guy in me says that. I mean, he's a world-class race car driver, but he's a good kid as well. So neat stuff. And now let's get into it. Our Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery Hot Topics. It was Tri-State Speedway in Hobstadt. It was the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. Christopher getting that first win. How about Sheldon Hodenshield from the work area?
That was impressive. I wonder if there was a caution, what would have happened.
He was rolling, and Kerry Madsen up front all night long. Just when you saw it, it was funny. You'd watch the race and you see Kerry all of a sudden out of the picture, and the next thing you know, he's dive bombing back in, and just really good stuff. So it was Bell, Sheldon, and the Madman on the podium there. Waynesfield had the Fast Series season finale, the Bob Hampshire Classic. Skylar G, and we talked to Skylar a month or so back, kind of getting his bearings in the state of Ohio and the All-Stars. Skylar G picked up the win over Cap Henry and DJ Foose. Out in California at Keller Auto Speedway, it was the Cotton Classic for the NARC King of the West Series. Rico Abreu picked up his third NARC win of the year. The podium was Rico, Bud Kading, and Corey Eliason. Listen to this, though. The points headed into the November 2nd finale. DJ Neto and Bud Kading are tied, and Dominic Selzy, who we had on our Mavs show last week, is only 7 points back.
Wow.
That King of the West thing,
yeah.
Man, that is some good stuff out there. Babs Motor Speedway had 410s and URC sprint cars. Chase Dietz picked up the win in the 410s, while Ryan Smith and Brian Monteith rounded out the podium. URC, it was Bad Chad Layton picking up the win over Freddie Raymer in a 360 car, and Ryan Smith, a pair of podiums for Ryan Smith with Mike Hefner's car. Coming up at Babs Motor Speedway, I love this one, Goofy's Eatery. That can't be bad, can it? Goofy's Eatery.
You have Eatery in the title.
Has Eatery in the title.
Yeah.
That's coming up on November 16th. That's after the World Finals. So we get done in Charlotte. We're not done. We may have to I got to go to Homestead that weekend, I think.
Real job.
The Goofy's Eatery Sprint Car, that's coming up on November 16th, $10,000 to win. So there you have it. Your Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery Hot Topics. ClassicInkUSA.com for hats, for towels, for hoodies, for sweatshirts, for whatever you want. T-shirts, of course, they've got them. And all of your gear to go along with that. You can check them out at www.classicinkusa.com. That's classicinkusa.com. Find out what drivers like Brian Brown, Donnie Schatz, Danny Dietrich, Danny Lasowski, Brady Bacon, and more, what they do when they need the shirts and hats, they go there and they're the best in the business. So it's classicinkusa.com. We need to step away when we come. Oh, wait a minute. We got something else here. We got, Chad Boat. I knew I was going to call him Billy Boat. Chad Boat is going to join us. But before we get to that, at Port Royal Speedway, there was what is known as the 8th annual Blue Collar Classic. And this is for a number of divisions, limited late models and extreme stocks. And they have the Keystone Race Saver Challenge Tour, 305 sprint cars. The winner was Nick Swigert, okay? But I am telling you, this last lap, it was Stephanie Dodson and Earl Hoon, Speed Shift TV. It's our Dryden Diesel all death-defying move of the week.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
White flag lap this time by. Doug Dodson goes to the inside of the 11C as Zach Newland slides up in front.
Swagger with the run. Nitro Nick Swagger working the top side to perfection. He takes the lead on the final lap. Here comes Newland. Newland working to the bottom side. He's going to try to put a slide job. Can't quite do it. And Nick Swagger will win a thriller here at Port Royal.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery. Located in Greater Pittsburgh, Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back. The world's largest selection of sprint car merchandise. SprintCarStuff.com. Diecast, t-shirts, clothing, photographs, prints, and much more. Gifts for you or the sprint car fan in your life. SprintCarStuff.com has it. And all proceeds benefit the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Next time you're looking for sprint car stuff, remember SprintCarStuff.com, your online home for any and all sprint car gifts and collectibles.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt lay model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing, proven speed.
This is Derek's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
After the third time jump-starting my car, I finally realized my battery was dying. So I stopped by O'Reilly to have it checked. They tested it right there in the parking lot. It was bad, real bad. But they helped me find the right battery for my car and even installed it for free. Now my car starts like new.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Stevie Smith, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Let's go to the Red Brand Fence Hotline, because joining us fresh off from a Sunday night visit to Victory Lane with his driver, Christopher Bell, Chad Boat's on the line. Hello, Chad. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Thanks for having me on.
Man, I'll tell you what, dude, we got a lot of ground to cover with you because we don't even know where we're going to see you next. And we do want to talk about your racing a little bit. But the whole deal with Christopher Bell, how did this all come together for you guys?
Well, Christopher and I have been good friends for a while, and our, Christopher's fiance and my wife are really good friends. So we hang out a lot down here in Charlotte. And, earlier this year, Christopher said he wanted to get a sprint car, and with the midget team being here, it kind of made sense that we just put it together at our shop. And, we kind of got messing around with the idea of, maybe we'll go run it a couple times and just use all the stuff we have to go run the midget. And that's where it's kind of gone from there. Now we're, at least going to run it 7 times this year.
Wow, that's great stuff. Chad, when you get a wing sprint car in your shop, I mean, obviously you have a long history in racing. You've raced stock cars, Indy Lights, midgets, certainly. How different was it to assemble a wing sprint car, and was Christopher really involved with you?
Yeah, Christopher is, definitely involved in, the, being at the shop, and, he has a good understanding of everything that needs to go into it. And I think people probably don't give him enough credit for that part. He's really involved in the setup that we kind of go to the track with. So that's been a fun part for us too. But yet, I kind of went back to, I've run a lot of non-wing sprint cars. So a lot of it is, the same from that. And then honestly, it's all essentially the same stuff, just bigger compared to my midgets. So, it was a lot of fun. We took our time. We've had the car since April, but we did a lot of things ourselves. We built our own body, really took a lot of time to put it together, and, debuted it at Fremont in September. And, that went well. And then, picking up the win Sunday was, we went there with expectations of, running, top 10. Obviously, when you go and run with Outlaws, you're racing against the best in the country. So we tapered our expectations and, definitely exceeded them with picking up the win.
We understand this, and your family, yourself, have a lot of accomplishments in the sport, but what was it like standing there on the front stretch, realizing that you're involved, crew chief, builder, or whatever your title is there, standing in Victory Lane watching your driver with a World of Outlaw win? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal, really. And it probably, since it kind of, I don't want to say it came easy, but it happened so quick. You're probably not as appreciative of it as you should be right now. Because obviously, those races are really hard to win. And it just kind of everything went right for us that night. But, it's definitely surreal, definitely very appreciative, of the opportunity. And, it's definitely something I look forward to talking about for many years.
Chad, at the track during the night, you guys have only run a handful of times, but making adjustments on the car, obviously you mentioned Christopher is really involved, but are some of the adjustments like the opposite of what you do on a non-wing car? How does that work for you? Are you starting to get a little hang of it?
Yeah, definitely, getting more comfortable with, just finding the limits with the car. When we went to Fremont, it was, completely new. And then, kind of learning as we go to different tracks and getting a notebook. We went to Charlotte last night and tested, and just trying to build our notebook to get a better idea where we need to be. But a lot of the same ideas translate, whether it's midget, sprint car, non-wing, wing. When the track does certain things, and it changes every night, right? That's the one great thing about dirt racing is the track is always different, and it's always different every time you hit the track. So you really just got to be able to, watch the dirt and kind of have an idea of what you think is going to happen, and then make your judgments based on that. It's not one set thing you're going to do each night. And, I think so having a lot of dirt racing experience, being able to watch the track and have an idea, hey, this is what I think we need to do, whether it's smooth wheel in or, put some more weight in the car, change the shocks a little bit. So I think just having that knowledge has really helped speed up the process and made it not so painful.
The size difference of these cars, okay? You said, we had all the midget stuff here, so we just went racing with that. Were there a couple items or anything that you how much adapting did you have to do with just the size of the race car?
Well, fortunately we had, trailer-wise and everything.
Yeah.
Our trailer was set up similar to just a one-car team, sprint car team.
Right.
So we did have to get some wing hangers, so we looked professional. Other than that, there wasn't really too much. The first weekend we just threw the wing up in the second deck, but we got some wing hangers now, so we look professional. It looks good.
So,
there you go.
So Chad, you mentioned you went and tested last night. Is the driver in you? Did you hop in, or is there any temptation to get behind the wheel of it?
Yeah, what's funny is actually I did get in last night. So I've never driven a winged 410 sprint car. I've done a lot of non-wing racing. But I had never driven a wing sprint car. The last thing I drove with a wing was a mini sprint. But Christopher wasn't going to let me out of there without getting in. So
Very cool.
I got in and made like 8 laps. It was definitely different than anything I've ever done. So it was fun. I don't know if I'll ever drive it again, but it was fun.
Well, let's talk about you driving. Of course, you run the USAC National Midget Tour. How's your season been? What do you assess where driver Chad Boat is with this year?
We've had an up and down season. We've had some good runs and some bad ones. We were able to pick up a win in PA, which was nice, and then quite a few top fives. So it's been good. And then obviously we bring Carsonella to the track every weekend. She runs for our team, and we've had the luxury of running Dylan Welch quite a few tomes. And then, towards the end of the year, we're actually going to get some more wing guys in our cars. Theo Stelzy's running the rest of the year for me, all the USAC national races. And then even Erin Wrightsville's he's going to run some West Coast midget races for us. So we've got a lot of exciting things going on with the team, and, just trying to keep on growing it.
Wow, I like this little
Breaking
crossover
news.
thing.
Yeah,
very
love that.
neat. So what is left on the schedule?
That was breaking.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you for breaking it with us. What's the schedule look like? You mentioned a total of 6 or 7 races with Christopher, and now you've got a bunch of USAC midget races left. What does it look like for you?
Yeah, so we go to Wayne City on Thursday this week, and then back to Hobbs actually with the midgets on Saturday. And then next weekend the plan is to be at Port Royal with the sprint car for both days. And then I think that's it for the sprint car for the year. And then we'll go out west next month with USAC, do Arizona, and those West Coast races, Placerville, Turkey Night.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously, then kind of December starts indoor season with St. Louis, and then Chili Bowl in January.
Man, so exciting. It really is. Just talking with you, because I'm mourning. I'm mourning because we're down now. We're getting to the end of the year. And then you mentioned the indoor season. I'm like, okay, we're going to be all right. We may just survive this again. We do every other year. We may just survive this again. A little tip for you here, and I'm not mechanically inclined or anything, but when you mount the throttle pedal for Erin Wrightsville, make sure that thing is beefed up, because he's not scared of a throttle.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So we're really looking forward to, having Erin and Gio and, Dylan and all those guys run with us at the end of the year. they all do a really good job. And I think it's fun getting more wing experience. Going with Christopher, especially when those guys come over. I think I'll have a better understanding of what they want in the car, when they get in the midget. So I think it's just going to help both sides, and really looking forward to it.
I was going to wrap it up with that, but now I've got another question. Dylan Welch, of course, one of our MRN reporters, and every time he climbs in the car about 3 times a year, and the whole story is him. You're a race car driver. I'm a radio guy. When I see someone do something good, it boggles my mind. But how good is Dylan Welch on a limited schedule, the way he wheels your race cars?
Yeah, no, Dylan does a great job. And, you mentioned Erin not being scared of the throttle pedal. Dylan's definitely the same. He gets after it, and he runs hard. So it's really cool. We've really enjoyed, having him over here, and, looking forward to, putting some more good races together. You ran top 5 at Midget Week, which is, some of the toughest races of the year when you go out there. And I think kind of once he gets, 3 nights of West Coast racing under his belt, I think, just the more he runs, the more comfortable he gets. And I think you'll definitely see some good results come.
Nice. Fantastic. Chad, congratulations on all of that, your racing and your ownership and the team and everything else. We appreciate you sharing some time with us here today, and certainly wish you the best with all of those upcoming events.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys letting a midget racer on the show. So it was cool.
Well, you got some connections. We of course have Rip the Fence here. We love our midget racers, and the Chili Bowl is coming up, and I can't wait to get back out there again. So we appreciate the time. Thanks again, man.
All right, thank you.
Man, Chad Bolt, one of the really good guys.
Yeah.
Gosh, that is so cool. Gosh, I have so much respect for all racers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is the NASCAR guys we watch on Sunday with in cover, the midget racer, the street stock guy at Bowman Gray Stadium. I mean, I love them all. But when you get a guy, and then you start to see this crossover with Chad, and then it's great with Christopher, and we see our buddy Dylan and Carson Elledge, of course, her ties in the NASCAR world and everything. But then you start hearing, man, we're going to get to watch Reitzel in a midget car this fall.
Yeah, I know. And, the crossover thing between non-wing and wing is not, Brady Bacon's done it for years, but for a long time it was pretty separate.
Yeah.
Even look at Keith Coons has a wing car now that he brings out occasionally. There's definitely a lot more of that. Zeb Wise got his first start with the Outlaws.
Back in the day, a guy like Danny Smith, he would throw the wing on one night, take the wing off another. Way back, it didn't matter.
And then
it went total separate way. And now it's kind of coming back together.
I like it.
I think that's awesome.
And I think it makes all of them better driver.
Absolutely. And it gives us a whole lot more to watch too. Not that we don't, not that in the bread and butter of the season, we got plenty to keep an eye on. But that's why Rip the Fence is here on Motor Racing Network as well, because Dylan and Tyler Burnett do a great job with that, covering the non-wing side of the sport. And they just have some wonderful combinations. Forget who they just had. You just got to check it out. You just got to check it out. Jimmy Sills.
Yeah.
They just did Jimmy Sills. Oh, my gosh, that's unreal. Hey, we need to step away. Speaking of unreal, Sam Hafertepe Jr., he's coming up next.
Here's your chance to win a set of your very own Hercules tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. Simply register, and each month we'll give away 1 set of tires. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading mileage coverage to get you wherever you need to go, no matter where the road takes you. Register now for your chance to win a set of Hercules tires at HerculesTires.com/MRN. Hercules Tires. Ride on our street.
Since the dawn of American industry, Dryden was there as the country built its first roads, laid the blocks of its factories, and spanned rivers with new bridges and rails. Today, with Dryden's all technology, we instill this heritage into every Dryden oil, lubricant, fluid, and DEF product we make. Dryden is a tradition of performance with 21st century technology. Dryden, official motor oil of the World of Outlaws, and always American-owned and operated. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing as a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the past 16 years and a partner of Wing Nation for the past 4 years. We love sprint car racing, and we're there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
O'Reilly.
Prepare your vehicle for the weather ahead during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Purchase a Superstart battery and get up to a $25 gift card after mail-in rebate. Plus great deals on jumper cables, battery chargers, and more. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Dale Blaney, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. We have talked. One of the themes that we've talked about here in the last couple of weeks are tremendous point battles. Of course, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars and the NARC King of the West Series. I am telling you, a month ago we crowned Sam Hafertepe Jr. Then he had a bad weekend. Now he had a good weekend, and this thing is going to go probably right to Texas Motor Speedway coming up. Joining us on the hotline, fresh off from a win in Sapulpa, Oklahoma, Sam Hafertepe Jr. is on the line. Hello, Sam. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, how we doing? I'm glad to be back on.
Dude, I'm telling you what, tell us about the roller coaster you've been on the last couple of races, and fortunately you had a good run on Saturday night, but the last month has been quite the ride.
Yeah, that's racing though. You got good nights, you got bad nights, and it's just part of it. The good thing is we've had speed the whole time, and just had mishaps here and there, and I feel like we're as fast as we've been all season. So definitely looking forward to the next 4 races.
Sam, you talked about after the win that you found the balance back in the car. Was it something that you found, or was it just a series of mishaps and kind of getting momentum back on your side?
We had some mishaps. We just, a lot of driver errors, to be honest. I made a lot of mistakes down at Lucas Oil Speedway, and we actually pulled our J&J cars back out here recently, and Little Rock was our first races on them, and we're just still kind of, when you run one brand of car all year, it's kind of hard to switch cars in the middle of the year, but all it took was really about feature time in Little Rock on Saturday night. I felt like we got the balance back in our car that we've been looking for, and it really showed this week in Creek County.
This Erin probably knows the answer. You certainly know the answer. I'm a radio guy. There's a lot of people out there listening to Wing Nation that haven't driven these cars. Between chassis, they all look the same to me. But how can you describe how different they are between chassis and sometimes want to work for you for a while and then it'll change and it won't work for you a while? How big a difference are there between different types of cars?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us was just the characteristics of the cars.
Mm-hmm.
They're all a little bit different. Some cars take a little different setup than others, and being that we run J&Js all last year and really dominated last year with them, I felt like it was something we could get back real quick, and it proved to be true. We got going pretty good the final night at Little Rock, and like I say, we rolled into Creek County, and we were definitely hitting on all 8 cylinders.
Sam, when you had such a successful year last year, what makes you try a different chassis? Is it a deal you got with the manufacturer? Is it a team decision? Is it something that you had wanted to do, to try?
It's more of a team decision. It's something our team has actually been invested in before I got here was, those branded chassis. And it was a team decision for us to try those, and thinking that maybe they'd be more 410 friendly for us, because we have been trying to gear our program up to go 410 racing. So, it was one of those things, nothing personal at all. We love Bonnie and Jack, that definitely, we definitely wouldn't, just change off of them. But, it's just like it's a business decision sometimes, and that's how the sport goes. And we heard a lot of those, a lot of the other brand of cars that we had. So, we pulled the J&Js back out and still running really good with them.
I will say, that is for sure. This week you roll into Devil's Bowl. I think you're a 5-time winner at that racetrack. So it appears in this battle that you're having with Blake Hahn, at least this next round kind of is a pretty good racetrack for you.
Yeah, he won there early in the in the summer at the Speed Week race.
Yeah.
But it's one of those places that it's right down the street from my house. We've always had really a lot of success there, and even after Devil's Bowl, we've got TMS up, and we've always ran really well there. So, definitely the last 4 races are places that are really close to home, and places that we actually run really, really well at. So excited to get those 4 races in and see how it all shakes out.
Sam, I know every driver in a points battle says that they're just go out there and try to do the best they can and win the race and not pay attention to it. But in all honesty, when you only have a handful of races left, you're this close in a battle, how closely do you pay attention? Do you drive any more conservatively to make sure you don't have any incidents? I mean, do you do anything different?
Well, I don't drive any more conservatively. That's how we ended up in this position. We had 3 nights in a row where, maybe going a little too hard and had accidents there and let him actually catch back up. So I won't change my mindset. We race hard every night and we race to win. And yeah, you definitely worry about the points. I mean, at the end of the year, it's a big pay cut to run second. So, you definitely have that in the back of your mind, but we don't change our approach at all. We're going out to win every night, and I'm sure like Donnie Schatz in their battle with Brad Sweet, it's the same thing there. He's definitely not going to change his approach just because they've had some bad weekends, and we look at it the same way.
Yeah. Sam, finally, and I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves down here, but you did mention it, the hopes, the plans to move to a little bit more 410. I know you got a championship here to wrap up, so you're focused on that. But are there some 410 races when there's not a lot going on when you get done, but where are you at on the scale with that?
We're gonna definitely be at Charlotte for the World Finals at the end of the year, and then basically go into next year and be down in Florida running all the 410 stuff we possibly can, and start out the year on the 410 trail and just see where it takes us.
Yep. Sounds like a good plan. But a good plan coming up is this weekend at Devil's Bowl and then at Texas. Sam, we wish you the absolute best this weekend. We'll be following along. Racing Boys has it all for you. We'll be following along with Racing Boys and appreciate the time and wish you the best this weekend, Sam.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you having me on.
There we go. Sam Hafertepe Jr., just one of the really good guys. Great racer. Yes. Oh, great racer. You kidding me? And we had, and what it was is, before the Lucas Oil weekend, it was the Hockett McMillan Memorial. Yep. And we had Scott Traylor from Racing Boys on. And Traylor said, yeah, it's probably pretty much a done thing that Sam Hafertepe. Now, that's us. This just goes to show what a bunch of knuckleheads that have never driven around. I am fairly confident Sam didn't feel like it was locked up and done. Yeah. The rest of us kind of did, but it really was a reverse of last year. Blake went down there last year at Lucas Oil and just didn't make the shows. Yep. And here we are. We leave there, and it's like, what in the wide world of sports happened? Yeah. Sam, we were crowning him on Thursday on our podcast, and on Sunday morning, he's second in points. Yeah. And that's just the nature of the sport. And I think, Sam knows that. Yep. I don't understand it. I'm just,
he's, mentioning shots. He realizes that it happens to everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not to say on the World of Outlaw Tour that Donnie doesn't go to Lakeside and Lake Ozark this week and just blow the doors off everybody. Then they're going to the Speed Palace where they're going to unleash that Ford. Okay, so I love chatting with Sam Hafertepe Jr. because I have so much respect for him as a race car driver, as a person, as a guy. He's just a good dude. And, man, I'll tell you what, it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah,
Blake Kahn, great young talent.
Oh,
so fired up about this. I'm also fired up about Hercules Tires giving away a set of tires. That's right, a free set of tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. We're doing it here in the month of October, so get in there, get yourself registered. Who knows, you may win a set of Hercules tires. Let's step away. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
No matter what or where you race, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings has you covered. Check out the premier Shark Wing as well as other sprint car wings and components. Sprint car, mini and micro sprint wings. And the HRP Original Recess Rivet Wing. All HRP wings are wind tunnel tested. HRP carries a full line of affordable, top-of-the-line, USA-built sprint car components. Shop online for all this and more at hrpracing.com. The Racer's Choice. Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings.
O'Reilly.
Prepare your vehicle for the weather ahead during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts with great deals on batteries and accessories. Plus, top off with Peak Long Life Universal Premixed Antifreeze and Coolant for just $10.99 per gallon. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
10
Tours, over 200 nights of racing. The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 28th year. Whether you're enjoying the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series National Tour at Williams Grove, Eagle Raceway, Skagit Speedway, or any of the 9 ASCS regional tours across Arizona, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and beyond, winged and even non-winged, there's a race happening near you. Check online for schedule details at ASCSRacing.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And when you can't be there live, catch the National Tour and select regional events on RacingBoys.com.
Red Brand Fence, the most durable, dependable, and safest fence in the world. Top horse farms use Red Brand Fence to safeguard their equine investments. Cattlemen install it to ensure their cattle are safe. Racetracks around the world use it to protect spectators, fans, and crews. For over a century, Red Brand's quality has been used internationally for countless uses. Red Brand Fence, the most trusted name in fence. Explore our products at redbrand.com.
This is Joey Saldana, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRN.com.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. So glad you joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here. Man, Chad Boat and Sam Hafertepe Jr. Man, some great conversations.
Yeah,
I just love chatting with our race car drivers.
Me too. They're also just so humble and passionate about sprint cars.
Yeah,
I know we talk about it all the time, but
yeah.
it's a pleasure to interview guys on this show.
It really, truly is. It's fun, and I appreciate it as someone that's never done this, that they kind of explain things in a little bit of English that I can understand. and I know the reality of it is there's a lot of you listening to this show that are not in the Erin category or drivers of these cars, and
been
so
a while.
I represent all of us people that have never driven a car before, and that's right. We got that done. National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, of course, turn number 2 in Knoxville, Iowa. The birthday calendar, yesterday, Wally Maskowitz. Coming up later this week, Norm White, Gil Sonner. Man, we lost him a year or two ago. Gil, I love when Jeff Swindell talks Gilly stories.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, that just sends chills. The respect there. You can hear the respect in the way that Jeff mentions his name.
Yep.
You could and it's just like, man, that's good stuff. Charles Dutch Ballman, John Ambler, Floyd Travis, Gordon Willey. Today would have been the birthday of Chris Economaki and this guy, Tom Cherry, a 1997 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. He was born in 1911. Okay, in 1938, he formed, along with a partner, the Mutual Racing Association. They called themselves the Roaring Roadsters. Okay. But again, what I like about the Sprint Car Museum, the National Sprint Car Museum, is it reflects society as it was. In 1941, the racing stopped. No, I don't mean a track went out of business or this sanctioning body ceased operation. I mean racing stopped for World War II. And our race car drivers like Tom Cherry went down to the recruitment center and jumped in. And he spent time with the United States Navy during World War II. Okay, so that's just, and it's such a beautiful reflection of the country when we tie our love for sprint cars into it and realize that, in 1942 and 1943, we're not heading off to the sprint car track or any racetrack for that matter. We're all home or serving the country. And it's just an amazing, and you look at where we're at societally now, and what it would take to get us to a spot where something caught our attention like that. But, I mean, it's just, exactly. Exactly. He was in the Navy until 1946. Huge success there. Then he came out of the Navy and started racing midgets and the Roadsters. The Roadsters started to go away, and somewhere along the way, he opened Tom Cherry Automotive Engineering. They were a speed shop and built engines. And in 1950, he was the Mutual Racing Association champ, 4-time winner of the Little 500, 50, 52, 54, and 55. Listen to this stat, Erin. In 54 and 55, now that's the Little 500, so there's 1,000 laps. He led 986. He did not lead 14 laps. Wow. That's pit stops, that's survival, that Little 500 race. In the 2 years, you want to talk about stinking a show up. in the best way possible. Yeah. He did not lead only 14 laps for those 2 years. Okay? Retired as a driver after 1956, continued as his business and a promoter. He passed away in 1990. And Tom Cherry, another one of the great stories, turn number 2, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. Man, that's just, It's just neat. It really is. And guys like that, whether they're the racers, whether the speed shop operators, whether the engine builders, they're the ones that laid the foundation for where we at right now. So great stuff. Speaking of great stuff, okay, we teased this a little bit last week. All right, y'all are coming to our town for the World Finals. Or you better be coming to our town for the World. You're not coming to our town? You better be coming for the World Finals. Listen to this. Hang with us. We've got 3 shows during that week, okay? Friday and Saturday, 3 o'clock in the Fan Zone, Dryden Wing Nation Race Day. We're going to lose our minds and get you set up. Gates open at 4, so get there an hour early. We're going to have all your favorite drivers. We're going to be slinging stuff from the stage.
Postman will be singing some karaoke.
Be singing karaoke. So we've got, that is 3 to 4 from the Fan Zone over at the dirt track. Now listen to this one. Okay, this is still coming together. It's happening. It's still, the details are coming together, okay? 11 a.m. on Saturday morning at the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Uptown Charlotte. I know a lot of you come into town for the World Finals and you want to go, or you do go to the Hall of Fame. We're going to make it so you have to go to the Hall of Fame because we are going to have some NASCAR Hall of Famers and some sprint car and dirt track royalty.
Oh, yes.
They're doing a Wing Nation show. Details are still being worked out. We got a lot of T's crossed and a lot of I's dotted, and we'll start telling you a little bit who's going to be there. But Erin, this is going to be must-see Wing Nation.
You bet.
Oh,
we have some confirmed guests.
We have some confirmed guests
that you will all like to hear from.
Yes, you will like to hear from. We have some confirmed hosts.
Yes.
Oh, lay that on you a little bit. Yeah, because we're just going to be the sideshow, Erin and I.
Yeah.
We're just going because we got bigger names on the other line are even going to ask the questions. It is 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, the NASCAR Hall of Fame Racing Legends Show, brought to you by Dryden. It is just going to be phenomenal. So you're coming to our town. We're going to treat you right. We're going to take care of you here with some great Wing Nation shows. Coming up this week, Wing Nation, our HRP Racing upcoming calendar. And, of course, our friends at HRP, all the stuff you need, especially this time of year as you're redoing that shop. Thursday, we're going to talk Trophy Cup with Willie Croft and a whole bunch of other things. His kid's running outlaw carts.
I
saw that. And so we're going to do that. And I can't wait for this one. Saturday, Wing Nation by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. A new guy we haven't had on that show before, Roger Crockett, the Rocket. We're going to talk to Roger on that show. And that's at 7:30 and 10:30 on MAV TV. We appreciate Chad Boat and Sam Hafertepe Jr. for joining us. More important than all of that, though, thank you for joining us here today.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Watch Wing Nation Saturday mornings on MAV TV. You can also find Wing Nation on wingnation.com or your favorite podcast provider. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.